Guess what? Vagabonds Nomads. Here they are in the #1 spot, on the way to the second spot overall as well. It's just gonna be a competition that has to be renamed to the Vagabond Survivors, because when the Vagabonds are surviving, nobody else survives in the lobby. But the challenge is still open for Vagabonds Esports. Maybe not 6 out of 6, but can you make it 5 out of 6? We're gonna take a quick short break. When we come back, potentially another Vagabonds dominance. We'll be right back.
New Vision City での重要任務に関する通達を受け取った。行くわよ。行くぞ。
あれは何なんだ。
こいつもポストヒューマンなのか。トゲさん。遅い。そうささやくのよ、私のゴーストは。
援護しろ。その調子だ、幸子。お前はよくやってるよ。
ダーシティでの重要任務に関する通達を受け取った。行くわよ。
Welcome back, soldiers, and this is still Green Survivor Season 2, where the legacy of Vagabond's brand is being instilled into everyone. This is just a round, or day number 1, and we are getting to the last round of this day. And so far, AJ, we have seen complete Vagabond's domination. We are still going to bring you the action for the last round. I am Neptune the Jammer Garcia. Together with me is my dear friend, my brother, Mustachio AJ. And so far, AJ, with Vagabond's Nomads taking that 5th round, it is a possibility that either one of them will take the 6th.
I don't even know why is this a question anymore, Neptune. I think it's a guarantee, bro. This competition belongs to Vagabonds. You know, I feel like all of the other teams, although they show that they've got quality, they are playing it on tier 2, whereas, you know, Vagabonds esports are not just playing it at tier 1, they are playing a cut above tier 1. They are in their own tier that they've created up there already, and nobody can dance their game. Except when Vagabonds Nomad steps in, then you know, they get to shut them down a little bit. And I think that whole engagement didn't go as planned at all. It was just a little bit too chaotic. And the one equation, that one little, you know, puzzle piece that they forgot about was Almighty Prime being in the vicinity as well, with the opportunity to take advantage. And the players of Vagabonds esports kind of bombed out. But I'm most curious about now, after not performing much in the first 3 rounds, how quickly has Vagabonds Nomads caught up to that 2nd spot? Are they already in there, or are they at arm's length away from that 2nd place? Because I know that previous round was huge for Vagabonds Nomads. Let's take a quick look at the overall leaderboard to see exactly how this brand is doing.
And we'll have to find out really how far will they be in there with the performance that they have on that previous round. So let's see, because I think a little bit of checking is being done, but in a few seconds we're going to see that. But there you go, let's check out the leaderboard right now. But before that, we have a code right here, and I was saying in the comment section that the code for the Lucky Box coupon is shown right now. I was saying in the comment section earlier that if I will be bringing a team, AJ, I'm going to name them Code. At least there's a lot of cheers out there in the comment section.
I'm sure the whole of the community will be cheering for your team non-stop, man. Everybody wants to see the code. Everybody wants the code to appear all the time. And that'll be the most popular team in the whole world of Call of Duty Mobile. In fact, the whole world of esports, right? But check it out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Lucky Box coupon, all for you. Thank you so much for making this broadcast fantastic with all of your likes and your shares as well. If you haven't dropped that like, what are you waiting for? You know, you are hurting our feelings. Please give us that thumbs up. Please drop that love. More importantly, if you love Battle Royale, if you love Call of Duty Mobile, hit that share as well. But now, for the serious stuff, let's look at the leaderboard and see the dominance that one brand is. 2 points, Neptune.
Easy peasy, AJ. I mean, that's not even an arm's length. It's not even a palm's length. Like I was showing
it's
earlier.
It's like a finger's length, bro.
Right, exactly. And like, now I'm not quite sure if you heard of the joke of how you measure the water when you cook rice. That's the only length that they need.
Yes. It's an Asian thing. I was actually very surprised to find out that it is not common knowledge around the world. Only Asians know the little finger trick to measure, to cook perfect rice, right? We all live on rice, but Vagabonds esports, I don't know what they eat, bro. They clearly don't just eat rice out there. But their lead just clearly got cut down a little bit after they bombed out in the previous round. Now, I'm curious as to whether or not they are going to go berserk in the following one just because they got downed out with a single point to their name.
Well, I'm expecting probably this will be another chance for Vagabonds Nomads because I'm really thinking why they ended up in the water for Vagabonds Esports. Probably that's part of the gameplay that they have. It's seldom that they go in for the water gameplay, so probably they're just letting this game slide. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Vagabonds Nomads has a good chance to really get another win and overtake the second place in here, get close to Vagabonds Esports. But for the movement of Armament Rodzina, this is really surprising. With Cookie consistently, if the same that we've seen from Travis earlier with 12 consistent kills from 2 rounds previously, it is Armament Rodzina Cookie who has getting 5 slays. And even if they can be if they will not be getting that placement with the kills that they're getting, especially with Armament Rodzina Cookie, this will be a good stride for this team to move up higher onto the leaderboards, probably catch up to the Conquerors if the Conquerors are taken down early in the game.
Yeah, and I think the probability of Rodzina Esports continue to climb up the leaderboard is going to be high here. And like you said, Cookie has been quite an integral member of the Armament Rodzina Esports squad. But also Almighty Prime, we've seen bouts of inconsistencies from the team, but today they just don't seem to be chugging out all of that firepower out there on the battlefield. As anticipated, it's Vagabonds Nomads that follows up with Vagabonds Esports. When it comes to the dominance through gunfights, they have got the second highest number of kills. And Almighty Prime, they need to find that stride as well if they want to reach up to the top. AXP Eternals, the earlier round was phenomenal from them. They did manage to chug out quite a number of kills, but what they didn't manage to do is find the placement points, which is crazy because they were doing so well.
And that's one thing that they're looking for them, is with the placement point that they can pull out in here, especially challenging against the top teams. But this is one thing that we can expect from them, like kills after kills. Like if we compare the what they're doing compared to the other teams, they're doing very, very well. And we'll have to find out if that will be the case in this round. Challenge of Vagabonds Esports and Nomads really, it provides or shows us the threat of the Vagabond brand against all teams. And the moment they're into play, like a lot of distraction, a lot of gameplay has been broken already, AJ.
Final circle, final map at Blackout. We will have a very lenient flight path that opens up the full of this Blackout map for the teams to not take a hot drop against each other. So no, here comes another hot drop. Team Dow Conquerors once again going up against NRX 432 at Fracking Tower. This is the kind of fracking engagement I don't want to see so early in the game.
Yeah, hopefully NRX 432 will be able to change the result of this battle if they started off once again, because earlier, like, they were baited to take the chase, and with that bait coming in from the Conquerors, I mean, it didn't look good. Literally didn't look well for NRX 432 when they are expecting to get a kills, probably good placement later on. They were eliminated early, so we'll have to see how will that work this time. Now, we are looking at it. Guys, expect that the teams are playing an FPP, and we're just looking at it on TPP. So that I know you miss the TPP visuals. And just giving you a glimpse of what it was previously, but this time we're back to FPP. And as we mentioned, it is the Conquerors going against NRX 432, and from the way it's looking on the minimap, it is 432 is backing away from this area and giving it all to the Conquerors.
Giving it to the Conquerors indeed, but NRX 432 better hope and pray they do not get backstabbed as they run away from this compound, because the compound kind of curves upwards. So even as you run away, you're going to get to that high ground, but you're not going to get all the way to the top just yet. And the players of the Conqueror squad can just turn around and snuff you out. So NRX 432 playing with fire here after they take that hot drop. I don't know whether they were expecting their opponents to get away or what, but the Conquerors are very clear with their approach to this matchup. They want to do nothing else other than conquer. You can see that through their points up there on the leaderboard. They have been consistent enough to get up to that second place, but they better savor that moment very, very, deeply before the Vagabonds Nomad squad replaces them and pushes them down into the third spot, because this might just be the round that happens, Neptune.
And there's no other chance for Vagabonds and Nomads to really take that, especially as in their mind, they really want to end on the second place. They want the Vagabonds brands to prove that they will not be taken down, whether it's the esports or the Nomads main team or the Nomads team. They will take the top spot right here. And the Conquerors, they just need to be a little bit more on the safe side so that they can survive longer, and if they can challenge the Nomads, because at this point, with the way that Travis is making it with the kills, you need not only to get a good placement but to beat the kills that Travis can do. And imagine that 12 kills on the toughest, baddest competition in Battle Royale for the greenest server, Call of Duty Mobile, and not a lot can do that 12 kills, AJ.
What is happening? The players of AXP Eternal seem to have the numbers of NRX 420. They're calling them in the background like, hey bro, where you at, man? Let us join you for a cup of tea. NRX 420 unfortunately gives away their location, and now they have to deal with the AXP Eternal squad coming for blood, man. Now the player's getting hacked up. This is going to be an issue. Pabi just recovers a little bit of his armor, and Raygun right in front. And once again, NRX 420 playing the exact same type of defense, all camping together, not taking that aggressive fight out at all.
And it's the same team who's challenging them, AXP, if I'm not mistaken. And there goes a one, there goes a two. Zeus and Pabi already out for the count. The Blink is in there, just hanging back onto the other side, inside the smoke. And Blink will be taken down as well. It is now left to one, but Raygun will be taken down, and NRX 420, bye-bye for this day.
I mean, this is a repeat of semifinals 1 and their performance at semifinals 1, right? They didn't wake up. In fact, they got snuffed out good on the first day of semifinals 1. And it seems to be repeating here at the grand finals. Yes, I understand that it's a totally different ball game and the teams here are just a step above crazy. But you gotta find your position and you gotta take a little bit of these aggressive moves at all. But it doesn't seem like NRX 420 wants to get aggressive out there on the battlefield. All they've done is just play defensive so far, Neptune, which I am actually very surprised about.
I'm not quite sure what the tactic is, but I'm pretty sure they know how the other teams are doing it. With Pabi in there as a sniper, they can utilize him to get better information as well as better position, but not inside a room. They can even outlive other teams in there if they take a slightly higher ground and gun them down, but probably it is the case of taking the edge of the safe zone, waiting for that next phase to close in before they make that move. But with AXP getting aggressive, especially with the kills that they are getting all throughout, and it's just a lost opportunity and bad luck, I would say, for NX 420 at that point.
Yeah, that's like the worst luck you can have, not just bad luck. Like in the history of all lucks, that's the worst that you can pick up for yourself, right? Because not once but twice. And initially as they took that drop, they were nowhere close to AXP Eternals. I don't even know how AXP Eternals stumbled upon them. They turn the corner, they find some footsteps, they go in to check out exactly who it is, and they find the players of NRX 420. And Jabi needs to take a lesson from the players of the Vagabonds esports if he wants to spot players underwater. Kuzma can't find anything. Sekre hops on in, and bye-bye, Sekre, says Kuzma. Just too easy of a takedown for him.
And this is a good move for Vagabonds Nomad because Conqueror's already out. Now we have Essa right now challenging and taking out Blue at this point. Now looking for the rest of the teams. I think they will not be backing down, but
no,
I spoke too soon. I think they heard me. I should have been so loud, AJ.
What the heck? You better get back in there, Nomads! You better get back in there right now! And they're going back, they heard me. Okay, let's see if they can keep an eye on their big brothers, Vagabonds Esports. Luki and opportunity from up top. Nash hits that rewind, but dog tag back in the hand already. Almighty Prime, again, it's happening. The plan fails because Almighty Prime drops by to break some of their strats. This is just too good, nephew.
Yeah, and Vagabonds and Nomads right now, not only a third eye, but third ear, because they seem to be hearing us as we call them out. And the Almighty will be trying to prove that they can take out Vagabonds Esports once again, giving a chance to the Nomads to take that second spot as the Conquerors are already out of the game. Imagine it's already 13 teams remaining, 3 is out, and that is a 4-3-2. The Conquerors, and I totally missed out who is the other one. And from the way I'm looking at it, it was NRX 432 was an engagement who usually ends up at the bottom.
Yeah, Nomads backing away, expecting Vagabonds Esports to pick up the dog tag, but what they did not expect was for Almighty Prime to come and ruin a little bit of their chances, and Dre fires right back. This is the equalizer. Almighty Prime is that equalizer for the Vagabond squad. They're taking the fight up against both of these monsters because they're sick and tired of it. But Paul says, shut up, Claudie. We're going to shut you down first. Paul and Esther still alive and kicking out there on the battlefield, picking up those dog tags at the very same time. Chase across the battlefield. Esther has got that high ground advantage, and as the players of Almighty Prime, they circle around. Look at who's behind. Vagabonds Esports, they're back for the challenge.
Back for the challenge and back for the fight, and we'll have to see who will be the ones taking the lead in this fight. But I think they will not be going and engaging because the battle has been so long in this against Almighty as well as the Nomads. But Nash and they're going a quick sidestep against Dre, and Dre will be taken out. But Chase right now has a chance to get that dog tag, but has lost it for now, waiting a few more seconds before Chibi and Claudie will be back and probably turning around, get the dog tag of Dre. But he needs to be far away because you don't want to be stuck in the crosshairs of both Vagabonds Esports and Vagabonds Nomads.
But that's the problem. I mean, if you're Almighty Prime, you were targeted clearly by both of the Vagabonds team, and Chase gets run over by Sacred, but the guy has got Chibi and Claudie already on the way back into the matchup. Chase hops on into the car, but can he take those shots as well? Turns around, Sacred shuts down the vehicle. Chase on the ground, great place to survive, but it runs out in terms of strategy because he's just caught out in the open. Sacred eats him up.
Just in time for the rest of the teammates to come back from the revive flight. If that happened a little bit sooner from the first hit, that could have been the end of Almighty. But there's still hope for Almighty Prime at this point. But the Conquerors right now, I thought they're already out. They are not. And this is a chance for them to get back on track. And we'll have to see as to who will be challenging them. And I'm looking forward to the Conquerors and Nomads on the early engagement. Dre going in a little bit tricky with the tank gameplay, but where will this be brought in for the play? The high ground is a great advantage for the tank, but with the rotation as well as how soft it is right now, I don't think it will last that long, AJ.
Yeah, it's quite soft, but you never know, man. The tank might just be able to pump out a couple of shells, but I usually like to see the tank taking advantage in the final circle. You know, this one is just way too open of a grounds for them to be playing this at. Vagabonds, quick nade toss, will not find anyone. AXP Eternals, a couple of their players turn into dog tags already. And now, the players of Tau Conquerors moving on in for that engagement with the tank, trying to find a couple of knocks and kills for themselves. But out in the open grounds of Blackout, it is going to be tough, especially when you're just barely at that second circle, nephew.
And Mizuki Fury right now in a terrible spot. The moment that footstep will be heard, he will be in there taken out. And a good exit right now, just in the best timing where no one is in front of them. Now Vitality on the other hand is just moving out in this play, just trying to get the loot in this area we're in. I think they just came back from earlier from the revive flag, but they need to move fast because safe zone as well as position are being taken by a lot of teams, especially Vagabonds Esports, though they are split up in there a little bit too thin. But Vagabonds Esports, they will regroup and recover, and Almighty cannot do anything about this gameplay.
They can't do much, and Vagabonds Esports, wait, I thought they were about to get shut down by Nomads earlier on, but it seems like they somehow managed to get away from those nasty players over on the side of Nomads. I'm curious to see whether Nomads has managed to survive this encounter as well. Yato from across, Travis, Virus, we see them on the screen, and it looks like the whole Nomad squad might be in full action. Nash goes to check out the situation. Yes, the whole of Vagabonds Nomads, they are out in the open. Nash hops on out, get back into your car, Nash, what are you even doing? Ooh. And he allows Travis to take him down. This seems to be like a telenovela drama, Neptune. I ain't falling for that.
I have to see how much kills can they get just out of Vagabonds Esports. Because so far, they got a few kills in there from Vagabonds Esports. And I'm quite surprised. Probably that is like fat... No, if it's a fat finger against that rewind class, it should have hit. But that time, it didn't work, AJ.
No, I think here, you know, on a more serious note, the rewind class kind of bugs out sometimes, right? You hit that rewind, it doesn't rewind you at all. And I think that's the problem there, because he tried to aggressively hop on out as usual to tag up those players, get that extra bit of information, back away towards the rest of his team members, but his class failed him, and the rest of the Nomad squad now have an extra kill point on him. I mean, the engagement was so solid between Vagabonds Esports and Nomads, and I tell you, these two teams are so good, right? Because any other team that they come across out there in the battlefield, ubos, but they are the only ones that can stand up against each other. That's the supremacy of the Vagabonds team.
They know the gameplay, they know how to get away, and we'll have to see if the other teams can adapt that. But Kimmy in there for the slay, and it's not only Shy, Phaeton will be taken down as well. 10 kills already, AJ, and we're just on the third phase. This is what EXP can offer in this game. Eternals in here still with the slays. Hopefully this time they can get a placement as well.
Unfortunately, it seems to be a situation that cannot be turned around anymore, Neptune. Void off screen manages to get the knock onto Nyx. AXP surprisingly alive and kicking, 10 kills, and this team woke up after like what, the third round, and said, you know what guys, today we're gonna down to everybody. And they're just taking the best match of their life back to back, and it seems like this is the version, this is the type of AXP Eternals that I fell in love with when I saw some of the gameplays out there on the battlefield, right? Truly capable of taking the fight up against anyone. But Vagabonds Nomads, now we will see their shutdown capability once again if they do engage with AXP Eternals out there in the open fields. Kimmy manages to spot one. Information on Travis has been taken already, but as he tries to spot the other players, they're just running around like little ants out there on the battlefield, and Kimmy just cannot find that accurate shot. And for one of them to just stand in place so that he can take a good shot against them. And Esther is just being so annoying as he continues maneuvering around. Kimmy will have to back away.
I think that's the idea why they're moving around, because they don't want to be sniped. And Kimmy is just waiting for that opportunity, for that moment that might not come. Like, I don't know what Kimmy was waiting for, but we know Kimmy is already getting a lot of slays in this game. Sniper probably to distance as well. He trying to compensate on the bull drop, but with the high ground, it is very difficult to get a target that quickly. So we'll have to find out how this will work. The 4 Kings right now getting back 11 slays, 11 kills onto their name, and it is unfortunate that Instinct will not be joining them as they step in onto the next phase of the safe zone. So far, they have the compound on them, and when the compound has been taken by 4 Kings, they have a great opportunity to fire back. But we'll have to find out, because a lot of teams are already staying in this area, and airdrop might lure in more in this fight, AJ.
Yeah, it looks like this is the 4th circle impending already. Dre finally managing to get a knock and a slay onto Jesuo. Vitality very unlucky, because Dre was looking for the kill for the longest of time, and finally he's the first one that they find. A little bit of a unfortunate spot out there on the battlefield. Not a lot of those players bringing in the FHJ for the plays this time around. Although the SMRS and FHJ have been pumped up in terms of shutdown capability. Travis finds Dre, Almighty Prime, once again gets caught in the hands of Vagabonds Nomads, and I feel like they're going all out. And this is what I'm talking about. Vagabonds Nomads. Any other team they find out there, you're dead meat, bro. You're gonna get toasted. You can be Almighty, you can be a prime squad out there on the battlefield. You'll get slain. The only ones that can fight and survive against Vagabonds Nomads is Vagabonds Esports.
I mean, the getaway capability, probably the tactics, probably positioning, probably a lot of assumptions can be put in for Vagabonds Esports, them surviving Vagabonds Nomads and vice versa. But AXP right now is in here just waiting for safe zone to close in, and good opportunity for them to try and gatekeep some of the teams, but bad for them because they will be chased by the zone later on. Pogs in there taking down Blue into the battle, but Virus has taken the battle against the Virus, and Conquerors also in front of them. Virus right now going in for the slay against Kuzma, and still continues as Conquerors fires back.
The snap working for Virus as he backs away, slides around. Esther steps on in his place to continue the slays. Virus manages to get the double from the back. Look at the players go to town with all of them. Vagabonds Nomad still running this circle. 10 slays already. That number 2 spot all guaranteed for Vagabonds Nomads. I don't even know what am I watching out here on the battlefield. Snap boy. Virus continues catching each and every single one of those players out there on the battlefield, but they look at the kill feed. They know that the Four Kings are still alive and kicking. Armin and Radzina, your time is up. Virus manages to catch out those 2 players alongside Fox. Sekre gonna get taken out of the equation as well. Fully tagged up already. Sekre has nothing against Virus and his M4.
There's no flying, there's no hiding, there's no wall, there's no tree. If you are in the sides of Vagabonds Nomads, you will be gunned down. And that is what's happening right now. 13 slays already in the game, and the next target will be the Four Kings as well as this team's from Team C. And we'll have to find out. AXP right here, also on the higher ground. So far, AXP surviving very well in there until we have Four Kings and Nomads get close to them. And as of right now, regardless of where they are with the smokes, they will be targeted. Fright trying to get away, will be able to get away, but Fright going in from behind, still nothing to do against SM. And with one surviving member, Negi right now is in here just denying them with the kills, but the chase will be on, and this might be a lost cause, but Virus takes that against Negi. Vagabonds Nomads right now, as we mentioned, continuing it on, and Vagabonds brand takes this day.
I don't know if I'm the only one seeing this, man. How can it be? Karina survivors at its best. And we talked about this. We talked about how Vagabonds Nomads will be climbing right back up to that number 2 spot before we are done and dusted with this day. We talked about how Vagabonds Esports, even if they do not perform, if they drop out, the ones who step into their spot is going to be the Nomads and Neptune. You explained this to me, Mr. Data Analyst. How do you dominate the competition 4 rounds back to back to back to back to back and then bomb out on your own blackout map in such a crazy fashion, but the consistency from the Vagabonds brand in itself just blow people's minds? How, Neptune, how?
Well, we've seen Vagabonds Esports were really not performing. They have the opportunity, but they were not taking the kills. They're even when they are 3 teams in there, it's just the Nomads taking the kills. And well, we know the Vagabonds Esports are a little bit like tactical in approach, especially in the early engagement, mid game until the end game. And with how Vagabonds Nomads are just getting a lot of slays, it's causing them to back off. They don't want to be in crosshairs. They want to be targeted. And just in case they're targeted, I mean, they need to think double to get away from the crosshairs of Vagabonds Nomads. Thus, it just was given to Vagabonds Nomads all the advantage they have, but it is a good running as well for the Four Kings. As you can see, apart from the second place, they got 17 in the kills, and This might be a little bit too late, but 4 kings in a row, especially in this blackout map, AJ.
I mean, they can roll themselves like a burrito, but Vagabonds Nomads will eat that burrito, bro. I mean, it's a little late for the Four Kings to wake up, but if you look at it from a serious point of view, it's not like the other teams are doing a lot to kind of like suppress the performance out of Four Kings. So they're going to very easily continue climbing up the leaderboard. I'm potentially seeing them get into the top 7, top 8, and somewhere around there with this sort of a performance. Let's take a look at this 17 kills coming through in total for this round, and 6 points, 17 plus 16, 23 points from this round alone. Yeah, that's a massive number of picking for the Four Kings, but it pales in comparison to what the Vagabonds Nomads have done. And to see the two Vagabonds team up in that number 1 and number 2 spot, that's a huge warning for the whole community, to all of the other pro players in the competition. If you can't figure out what Vagabonds Esports and Vagabonds Nomads is doing out there on the battlefield, you guys have no chance in hell of ripping away that number 1 and number 2 prize pool away from their hands. They've already booked it, man. They've got their name stamped on that already, and I don't think there's any changing of it. This was just so predictable from the start of the day. Disappointingly predictable, because I wanted to see a little bit more firepower from the other teams. But I have to say, one of the teams that have been keeping me awake and keeping me excited to, stay tuned to this whole competition is AXP Eternals. They've really stepped up their gameplay. They've really stepped up their form out there on the battlefield. And this round as well, they managed to find their slaying ways, managing to pick up a total of 13 kills, Neptune. That's super impressive.
Yeah, AXP Eternals, especially with Kimish in there, with the help of the rest of the teams, they're getting good location. They're getting good position this time around compared to what we've seen from them earlier on. They started up strong and hot from the start, and then later on being gunned down. And I think it is attributed as well to the slowdown of Vagabonds Esports. The moment the Vagabonds Esports slowed down, Vagabonds Nomads has a chance to move up in terms of the kills, and then the rest of the teams also catches on, because you can only put Vagabonds Nomads in one position, and the other teams as well are getting other position and getting those kills. So those teams who are not really performing, and I think for AXP Eternals, it's more of the motivation that they're getting, especially for the initial slays that they're getting. It's NRX 420 that they are battling on from the start. So motivation in there, plus advantage coming from the pressure that Kimish can do. A lot of the things can be expected from AXP Eternals. We have the Conquerors right now, though they are consistent in here. They're still trying to maintain that second spot, but the way it looks, they will be pushed down to the third, if not probably further down, because let's see, as Armin Radzina has a good amount of kills as well, 11 in there. But in terms of placement, not like it's 1 point below the Conquerors, and with the lead that the Conquerors had against Armin Radzina, it's a little bit more that AR needs to put in to take over the spot.
I don't know exactly how much can we expect, some of these other teams to really step things up against the whole Vagabonds brand, right? Because it just seems to be predetermined who's going to be able to truly dominate this competition. And no matter how much the other teams do, they can't match up, Neptune. You're even looking at a team like the Four Kings, and we're talking about the Four Kings, man. There's a Four King Aces who always show us a couple of fancy plays out there on the battlefield, regardless of who they go up against. And even against Nomads down in the final circle, they really, got flushed out. They really didn't stand a chance whatsoever. Looking at the 7th spot, on the other hand, though, Vitality, 3 kills, decent for them. And team number 6, Team Tau Vitas, picking up a total of 6 slays in the 8th spot. Vagabonds Esports, surprisingly, down in the 9th spot, refusing to take some of those engagements. Only 2 kills overall. So yes, we're going to stop looking at you for a while. Almighty Prime, on the other hand, 3 kills. Unfortunate for them in terms of the inconsistency that we've been seeing them kind of, get bugged out with throughout this whole competition. We want to see more from this team. And they are just one of the few that can really challenge some of these top squads, Neptune. But if even they keep bombing out inconsistently, then the top teams really will be able to run away without much of a competition at all.
We need to catch up because running away will be what's happening. And there's just a few kills in there from this rundown, from this breakdown, and not so much that it can provide an impact to go against the other teams. And Nomads, the other teams as well, 4 Kings in there did a great job, but I'm still hoping, not quite sure how much I can hope. I'm a hopeful guy, I'm an optimist guy, still hoping that other teams will be able to move up further away from the single digit and even below the 20 points. So we'll have to find out, because that ends it.
Can we tell the production not to scroll down just for the sake of some fans of NRX 420? Just stop it here. Just stop it here. Let's not scroll down any further.
Yes. All right. You heard us, production. We didn't say, for the sake of
they're gonna scroll
the team.
I think they're gonna scroll. It's unfortunate, man.
Right. We try to provide all the insights that we can, all the information that can give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
But with the performance, it's very difficult to really hype up the performance of non-performance.
Yeah, and then I'm super shocked to see 432 down at the bottom as well. I mean, you usually see them popping off. Look at Riley Esports sit down in the 15th place. What are we even seeing in this competition? I mean, it's been turned on its head. It's just, domination from some of the brands, and the rest of them are just literally bombing out. You expect to see some bit of aggression from NRX 420, but the twice that they have had their compound stormed by AXP Eternals, they haven't gone out aggressively. In fact, they backed away from those engagements. They wanted to play defensive. But brother, the fight was already coming to you. That's just teasing him. Are you sure, Slasher? Don't you want to go down? Yeah, we can go down. Let's see what we have at the bottom. No, we don't have anything at the bottom. Unfortunately, it is what it is. So we gotta see it. We gotta see it, man. We gotta see nothing.
You need to put in the scores, AJ. So
yeah,
just need to confirm that it's right.
Yeah, it is obviously a sad moment if you are a fan of the Kings of Old NRX 420. But it is what it is. You want the fans to cheer a little bit louder. You want them to scream a little bit louder. You gotta perform. You gotta take that fight up against everybody out there. In terms of the strategy, I really like the fact that NRX 420 kind of backed away from the previous compound. They try to change things up. I don't know how AXP Eternal just found them again, man.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they just passed by, and that's not to put a blame to anyone. That they try to shoot them down. They try to shoot them down,
Yeah,
and that's
right.
where the location is found. And even without knowing, if someone shoot you down, you try and look into it. Especially this is not a game. This is not a competition of finding.
Yeah.
It's not a hide and seek. You need to take the kills, and that's what they did. XP did manage to get those kills and take that win against NRX 420. But I mean, we asked so very, very hard for teams to not hold on to the last 2 days, or probably the last day, wherein they pop off and turn things around, not let one team or one brand take the opportunity of taking a lot of points in this day. But it is what it is. Vagabonds Esports, Vagabonds Nomads just took this day. And I won't be surprised, AJ, if tomorrow, as well as the last day, or probably tomorrow, we will be seeing a quick change in the tactics. They might not be that overperforming compared to this day, AJ.
Yeah, unless, push comes to shove and then some of the other teams catch up, then you will see them chug out their whole performance again. Vagabonds Esports and Vagabonds Nomads have this very simple modus operandi. You only perform when you desperately need to perform. And that's why you see usually Vagabonds Esports really chug out their best in the first few matches, and then, they just switch off. They literally go to sleep. After that fourth match, you saw that player, he was lying down on his pillow. He was like, we've done enough, man. Let's just back away. But let's look at the overall leaderboard. Let's see exactly how these teams stack up against each other. Clearly, Vagabonds Esports have done enough with 107 points, so they just add on 2 more to allow the rest of the teams to catch up to them. And look at what we have here. Vagabonds Nomads, none other, sitting down in that second spot with 95 points. Just a stone's throw away from their brothers, Vagabonds Esports.
I'll have to find out if they will throw that stone or probably let that go and throw them some bread instead. But we'll have to see how will that work. Because for all this day, I mean, it's just been Vagabonds all around, regardless of what. There's not much to say because they have been putting in the gameplay, the slays, the kills, and performance, even the wins. So there's not much to shout about in terms of domination. It's just Vagabonds Esports and Vagabonds and Nomads in there. But I really love the consistency coming from the Conquerors, the Nuod Tau Conquerors. They started off in there challenging a lot of teams. They might not have a lot of kills in some of the rounds, but with the consistency of placement, that is where we can depend on them. Armament Rosina, on the other hand, is quite the reverse because they don't have much in terms of in terms of consistent gameplay, but with the kills that has been put in, especially with Cookie in this game, they have been in there on number 4, even above AXP Eternals. Like, just to be honest, it's just AXP Eternals really bombing out on the placement, AJ.
AXP Eternals, they don't really do all that too well when it comes to those placement points, but they don't really need to do super well because their slaying department is just superb. They are one of the best killers out there on the battlefield, and I really like to see that aggression from them. But yes, I do agree with you. We need to see them step it up when it comes to some of their placement points. They have been very, very consistent in slaying, which it just confuses me, right? Why not get into that final circle before you start slaying as well? But they usually get a little overexcited and get snuffed out before they can reach the top 5 to top 6 teams, which is a little unfortunate. Almighty Prime continues to move down a little bit lower as they don't find their consistent performance out there on the battlefield. But the Four Kings Aces, on the other hand, slowly climbing up to the top. Together with a total of 44 points, they've left their brothers NRX 432 and 420 down at the bottom, and they want to make a difference for themselves, and they do exactly that. Dawita's picking up the 8th spot for themselves with a total of 35 points, which pushes the MYSG representatives down into the 9th spot, 34, but not a lot between them to make their way right back up, nephew.
Yeah, and so far we have ENA Phoenix, AXP Creators, Vitality CL, HG Creators in there, NRX 432 as well as NRX 420 completing the second half of this overall leaderboard. Though it is so top heavy at this point, I'm really looking forward, really optimistic that a turnaround will be happening by day number 2. And speaking of day number 2, we're going to check out the schedule for this. But AJ, I mean, for so many days that we have the Green Survivors, I'm pretty sure the fans out there knows as to where and when to find out, because as we mentioned earlier, it is 3 days of a back-to-back battle, even on the grand finals, and this gives an opportunity for the teams to come back. So let's check out what is scheduled in here so that everyone will see as well as mark it on their calendars.
Well, tomorrow, same time, same place, you know where to find us. Finals day number 2. We all thought that Vagabonds Esports was going to run away with it in day number 1 in itself, but obviously they had to have a little bit of leeway in there for their brothers Vagabonds Nomads to catch up as well. You don't want to end things on day number 1 in a fantastic fashion. You want to together end things on day number 2. And I feel like that's the imminent end that we are leading this competition into. Nobody has been able to stand up to the dominance of the Vagabonds brand so far. If not Vagabonds Esports, it's going to be Vagabonds Nomads. And I've been saying that over and over again, expecting someone to step up on the battlefield and prove me wrong. But unfortunately, all they do is prove me right. And Vagabonds just continues rising up to the top. And, you know, unfortunately, some of the teams, big teams, really aren't finding their stride in here at all. But perhaps day number 2 would be a day of comeback, or at least some can hope, Neptune.
We'll have to see if that will be the chance that they can come back, or keep the hopes up, keep the dream of taking that higher placement onto the leaderboards, especially for those who have a lot of fans, because you don't want to disappoint your fans. Even us, we don't want to disappoint the fans out there of all the teams, but we call it as it is. And thus far, it has been Vagabonds Esports for day number 1. Day number 2 would be a different question, but AJ, I think this is about a time that we end this day. I've been like, my head is full of Vagabonds right now. We really need to get it out at this point. We'll see you again tomorrow for yet another Greatest Survivor Season 2 Legacy. Good night and goodbye.
Been phenomenally accurate, not only with the dominance of Vagabonds Esports, but also with Vagabonds Nomads grabbing that second spot before we are done.
Deathmatch.
Targets. Targets in sight.
We lost the lead.
Contact with enemy.
Tied for the lead. We've taken the lead. It's too close. Fight harder.
Changing mag. Cover me. Targets in sight.
We lost the lead.
Contact with...
We tied for the lead. We've taken the lead.
Contact with enemy. Tango down.
Reloading.
Reloading. Cover me.
Need backup. Let's go. Let's go.
Targets in sight.
Enemy down. Let's go. Let's go. I'm hurt.
Contact with enemy.
I'm hurt. Need backup. I'm hurt. Reloading. Down.
Enemy down. Enemy in sight.
Target's inside.
Tango down.
Enemy contact. Target down. Need backup. Enemy down. Contact with enemy.
Keep on them. We're winning this one.
Let's go. Need backup. I'm hurt. Target's inside. Let's go. Contact with enemy. Target's inside. Contact with enemy. Enemy down. Target's inside.
Contact with enemy.
Control. Defend the objectives.
Target's inside. Enemy contact. Enemy down. Contact with enemy. Target.
Online.
Reloading. Cover me. Reloading. Enemy down. Enemy contact.
Friendly hunter killer drone. Friendly predator missile inbound.
Target's inside. Enemy down.
Sentry gun ready for deploy. Close. Fight harder.
Tango down.
Sentry gun deployed. Airstrike is ready. Capture the objectives.
Target's in sight. Need backup. Enemy in sight. Enemy down.
Capture B.
Contact with the enemy.
Friendly subtractor inbound.
Target's in sight. Contact with the enemy. Down. Reloading. Cover me. Tango down.
Sentry gun ready to deploy. Captured. Sentry gun deployed. Capturing Bravo.
Reloading. Cover me. Reloading. Cover me. Enemy down.
Capturing Alpha. Captured B.
Target's in sight.
Get away.
Target's in sight. Reloading.
Just another day. Good job.
Hindi ko umiyak.
のターミナルは現在ポストヒューマンの支配下にあるものと直接つながっているわ。奴らのネットワークにハックするためのプログラムを送るわね。直接何かを操作することはできないかもしれないけど、プログラムを使えば奴らの作戦を妨害できるはずよ。
この町にはたくさんのターミナルがある。一つ見つけ出して少佐のプログラムをアップロードするんだ。
Chip terminal is almost ready. The safe zone is collapsing. Airdrop incoming. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered. Airdrop incoming.
Mm-hmm. ここに擬態化ステーションがあるわ。戦闘効率を飛躍的に上げることもできるわよ。
義眼レンズにはフィールド上の役立つアイテムを認識するシステムが備わっている。さらに弾道識別追跡ソフトウェアが弾丸の発射元をあぶり出してくれる。
A full-fledged tank has been dropped. Airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing. Kill ship ready for upgrade. Airdrop incoming. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered. Half of the teams are eliminated. Airdrop incoming. Airdrop has been delivered. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute.
Welcome to New Vision City, a city built upon innovation.
ターゲットを捕捉。位置を確認して。行くわよ。